Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rainy. This is of course the Enchanted Planner, and I'm popping in today to let you know where I've been and what's going on and all of the like. First, I want to extend some ginormous hugs to all of you because so many of you have reached out everywhere to see how I am and send your thoughts and see what was up. I actually joked with Di, I'm like, I guess it's inevitably time to go back to YouTube because they're tracking me down everywhere, which I greatly appreciate it. It's nice to know you're missed. I knew you guys would be cool with me just sort of disappearing. You knew I would be back. I do apologize for the unexpected absence from YouTube. New Year's was a bit chaotic. My mother-in-law passed away on the 2nd of January. So it was just all hell broke loose and just the crazy from there. She was diagnosed with liver cancer the end of November. And because she's 82, obviously didn't want to go through treatments and all the rest of it. So, actually they booted her butt out of the hospital so fast it made our heads spin because we were trying to make arrangements to make sure that she was cared for at home by family members. So it was a bit of a crazy mess. And, I was not impressed because, okay, so most of you know we have socialized medicine up here in Canada, which when it's working, it works very, very well. We are taxed on it. It's built into our taxation and we pay dearly for it. Like we pay a lot for that benefit of having socialized Medicare, but it's broken. It's been broken for a while. It's only progressively kind of getting worse. My mother-in-law, when she ended up at the hospital at the end of November, she spent 4 days in the hospital in emergency. No privacy. Just people walking by her all day and all night. She couldn't really sleep. A lot of distractions. Um, yeah. So I was not impressed. I said to my husband, it's probably a good thing I stay away from the hospital because I will be raising the roof. This is ridiculous. Get her a goddamn room. Like 4 days. 4 days. So when they did finally get her into a room, she was under care and surveillance for a little while. But then she got booted out a week later so fast. Like I said, they gave us no notice. It's like, all right, come pick her up. What? Anyways, she took a really bad turn December 30th. She was doing okay. Like she was released from the hospital on the 6th of December, I think it was. And, she was doing okay. And we had family members and we were all sort of taking turns and it was going well. And then my husband went to stay with her the day of the 30th. And she just went downhill fast, like really fast, unexplainably fast. But I think she had a stroke. So does my husband, because at one point when he was tending to her, she couldn't really talk anymore and her face was kind of drooping on one side and, she couldn't use her legs very well. So, and she's had a stroke before and she does have a propensity for blood clots. Actually, they did find a blood clot in her liver at the same time that they found the lesions on both lobes of her liver. So I think she had a stroke, sadly. But yeah, she just went downhill fast. And she had already set up the assisted dying program that we have here in Canada, which I'm grateful for the fact that it exists in situations like this, because no one should have to suffer and go through all that pain and discomfort. I don't think that that's really necessary. But she'd also taken the initiative to set up ahead of time with her being, should she become unresponsive, that between the executor and the doctor, they could make the judgment call to start the process. So that is basically what happened on the 1st of January. And what I find ironic, she spent 4 days in the hospital hallway in emergency, 4 days, but suddenly they could be there the next day when it was time to start the program. The irony's not lost. Oh my God. Oh, but anyways, so since then it's been chaos and family drama and all the rest of the stuff that goes along with someone dying. Her funeral isn't until the 2nd of February, which, I mean, she was being cremated, so it's not a huge deal. And actually looking at the calendar, that's like next week. But yeah, I'm hoping some of the chaos and drama settles once that happens. And I've sort of dropped little nuggets here and there with family members. I know it's hard to deal with some of the stuff that's going on, but people grieve differently and grief affects people differently. And we just need to have a little bit of grace and a little bit of compassion and a little bit of understanding and some thick skin, because right now everybody's kind of raw, and this too shall pass, basically. It gets better. It takes time, which time's a four-letter word, but it does get better slowly over time. So yeah, I'm hoping most of the drama will settle down after the funeral. Fingers crossed. Send your prayers, because I'd like to go back to my calm, peaceful life. Other things I've been working on. What have I been doing? What am I up to? Well, actually not much. Well, that's kind of a half truth. I have yet to actually set any goals for this year, let alone this quarter, because all of this kind of happened in the midst of when I would have been going through that process. So that's on the list of things to do, and I will start working on it, because we still have 8 weeks left in the quarter. Actually, even if we still had 4 weeks left in the quarter, I would still actually take the initiative, because it's important. I've taken some of the additional time, and I've been working through areas of my house and deep cleaning and purging, and I find cleaning very therapeutic. I always have. I just toss in the headphones and set Spotify playing and have at it. It allows me to unplug and stop the chatter that is going on in my head all the time. The other thing I've been doing, I mean, it only started this week, but I've taken up walking. And I know that probably sounds funny, and you're like, whoop-de-doo, you're walking. But understand this. As an entrepreneur, I am chained to my desk 12 to 14 hours a day some days. Walking's important. And I have been consistently chained to my desk, more so than ever since 2020, for obvious reasons. But yeah, so the walking is important. I'm trying to get in at least 10,000 steps every day. I'm just walking around the block. It takes me about 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm doing that like 4 to 5 times a day. It's working. It's getting in the steps. It's getting me out of the house. It's allowing me to process things that are happening in my brain without any outside distractions. I can listen to a podcast, or I can listen to die, or whatever. I mean, there's a multitude of different things I can do, but it's clearing my head, which is important. And it's little wins. And I'll talk more about little wins in one momento. I am determined to set the foundations for success for this year. That is something I had decided in December, which was part of my simplification for my word of the year, is I want to set foundations, and I want to set simple foundations. I really want to dive deep into building my businesses this year, and I want to get my health back on track. Those will be my 2 main areas of focus, because they've been rather neglected. Sadly, rather neglected. And you don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? And it's all about small wins. That's why in this case, like, the walking's really important. Like, if you've ever listened to life coaches or goal setting gurus, they talk about the small wins being important, because the reason for that is it sends a signal to our brain that we've achieved something, even if it's small. And achieving those little somethings gets momentum going, because now I know nobody really wants to exercise. I say this all the time. Nobody really wants to exercise. We have to make ourselves do it. And it's building that habit and that repetition. And then as things get easier, it becomes part of our daily routine, or just part of who we are. So again, it starts with those little tiny wins, and I'm taking those wins for all I can get right now, because they're something that is easily achievable. It doesn't require a lot of thinking or effort on my part. I just get out and do it. I do note I absolutely have to get better running shoes, because if I'm going to be walking this much, my feet will love me more if I have much better running shoes. My hips are letting me know, my calves are letting me know, which, is part and parcel, but I also don't want to develop something like plantar fasciitis because I've been wearing crappy footwear. So one of the things on the agenda is I've got to get some new running shoes. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I want to thank you in advance for all of your condolences and love. I'd also ask the community to send some of those condolences and love or some of that love out to Ellen, as her mom passed this past Monday. I'm filming this on the 25th, on the Thursday, so her mom passed on the Thursday. So send her some love. Give her a big cyber hug, because it's rough. It's rough when you lose your mom. I went through it back in 2007, so it's not nice. I would give anything for my mom to still be here today. Absolutely. She would have been a very wonderful resource to have as I was going through menopause and all of these additional life changes we go through at this stage, right? But can't change the past. So my questions to you are, where are you at? How do you feel? What have you been up to? Have you set your goals? I've talked to several people in sort of my immediate circle, and like that aren't family members, like just friends and colleagues. And it's been a rough start to 2024. Like just a weird, rough start. Not necessarily bad in all cases, just a bit rough. Like it's been things like the band-aids ripped off with one person, and then there's others where it's just all of a sudden they had all this stuff plopped into their lap that had to be done that they had no idea had to be done. So it's just like rush, right? So I think we're all sort of recovering from 2023 and setting our bearings for 2024. And I know that, like I said, I'm determined to set some strong foundations, or build some strong foundations in my businesses and my health this year. So that's going to be my main focuses. I'm curious, what are your focuses for this year? And that pretty much is it in a nutshell. That's a wrap. I know the sound quality isn't the greatest. I'm having problems between the mic and the phone, and I've got different headsets and stuff, and they're not all necessarily playing well together. And this is, I think, like the 4th or 5th time I've recorded this bloody video. So hopefully it's not too bad. Fingers crossed. But yeah, let's chat in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. I know I will still be reviewing January, even though I didn't have a ton going on this month, because I think that from a journaling standpoint, it's important to note a few things that I have sort of determined, and noting those things that, the small wins and the not so small wins, right? But yeah, that's a wrap, you guys. I will chat with you later. I'm sending all my love to you. I don't know what the content schedule is going to be like over the next few weeks, but I will be around. I've been trying to keep up with you guys in the comments. I am currently very far behind on the comments, but I will get caught up. I will answer you. Just might take me a week or so. There's a lot. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.